TOITN live back for the third time on Saturday, 16th of May. Trying this again on a slightly lower bandwidth setting in the hopes that it's going to do something about the connection issues I've been having the last few days. I've been assured that I've got no issues on the side of my ISP, so we're just going to have to see how it goes. I'm going to fiddle stuff around in my house and yeah. Yeah, man, just to open the show, big shouts out to Tanvir Chima first, big up to Sid Vicious, Tarquin, Oliver Nimrod second, big up yourself, man. Yeah, just wanted to start off the show by saying a rest in peace, sincere rest in peace, and a dedication again to Eesa Frimpong. The last show, I was proper choking up at the start, I couldn't even really speak, and I haven't sort of spoken about it properly yet, but yeah, I want to make sure that these shows are good and that the shows are driven by discussion and not drama, mudslinging, bollocks, that sort of thing. It's funny because I think it was maybe the day before or 2 days before Eesa died, I had some mad stream, and I remember saying on the stream, I was like, nah man, come on, we can do better than that. People, it's like Captain Rambo shouting at Wendy or whatever else, and I mean, we can all do better than we do sometimes, and I don't want this panel to become one of them ones. I think we know the panel I'm specifically kind of talking to or speaking to about, but yeah, Eesa was a subscriber, and I feel I owe him yeah, kind of a service, as well as you, the viewers, and we're gonna be moving forward. You're gonna have to guess, but certain people are cancelled. Certain people can't come back around here again, and that's 100%. Yeah, I hear that. Gaines made a good point. Yeah, I mean, some degree of I don't know what you call disagreement or whatever else is fine, but I'm not going to platform some of the stuff that I've seen this last couple days, and it'd be very easy to do so. So yeah, I've been thinking about that. Things will probably get back to normal to an extent, but for me, I can't have that sort of. I mean, people speaking to the dead, wishing death on people, all that sort of fuckery. That could stay very far away from this channel, and yeah, it's not even a case of banned. Some people don't welcome back. Some people aren't welcome back. It's not even a big thing. And moving on, Tanvir Chima, you'll be glad to know this is not going to be about IQ, race and IQ and genetics. I'm actually going to get into some of the stuff that's been going on today at Speaker's Corner. I'm sure you lot are probably aware. It's weird because I woke up today and it felt like a Sunday, and I started up my PC and I loaded up the stream, and I actually typed in TOITN live Sunday, and I looked at the day, I was like, what? No, it's not Sunday. And then I went to TNTS Greek, and there's videos up at Speaker's Corner. I was baffed. Some proper Twilight Zone. You're not going to have to excuse me, I've just woken up from a nap as well, so my brain's not functioning 100%. Yeah, it felt like a Sunday today. Big shouts to TNTS Greek, who's down catching some of the madness down there today. Jeremy Corbyn's brother Piers getting himself nicked. There's our Steve in the background looking like it doesn't look like he's taking this lockdown thing very seriously, to be honest. No mask, police no mask. Anyway, big up to Western Goddess, big up to Age Case, big up to Home Truth Provider. We've got a cheat going live at the same time as Questlove. No way. Do you know what? Big up the roots, man. Each and every time, big up the roots. Big up the roots, man. I didn't know Questlove was doing lives. Is that on? Is he on Instagram Live or on YouTube? DJ Rizza turned up just at the right time for a conversation about the Roots. Big up yourself, DJ Rizza. It'd be good to see you back in action at the park soon, man. Tanvir Chima said Steve is a full boomer. Apparently so. Big shouts to Jordan M inside. Big up yourself, man. I hope you're holding up well. I hope you're good, man. Speaker's Corner. So, a couple of things happened. I wanted to talk about one of the videos that TNTS Greek had up, actually. In fact, no, do you know what? Before that, let me run TNTS Greek's video. He breaks down a little bit of what the day was about. And he also had something nice to say about Eesa as well. So I'm going to get that up on the screen for you lot now.
Come on, man. Good to see you too. How you doing?
And the people who have passed had underlying
8 weeks?
8 weeks now.
It is 8 weeks.
What is going on now?
Today.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say?
Yeah, why not?
And I'm not. The crazies are out.
What's the purpose?
Because they're fed up with the lockdown and they don't believe what they're being told.
In your views? Are you going to get in trouble?
There's a virus.
There is a virus.
There is a virus. It's got nothing to do with 5G. I don't even think it was created in a laboratory. It came from an animal. It was being held, investigated, used, whatever in that laboratory. It probably escaped via an accident. China covered it up for months. They didn't let on what was happening, and now it's gone across the world. But do I think it's any worse than seasonal flu? No, I don't.
So, if you're a believer, what are you?
Well, you know me, I'm observing. This is my manner.
So what do you anticipate in weeks to come? Do you think
The lockdown will steadily decrease, be taken away, and we'll go back to normal. But I suppose the question is, will normal be the same normal as we had before, or will we have a new normal? But then they don't. Harry Krishna are here. They don't want to put chips in us. They don't want to pin us to the ground and forcibly give us a vaccine. That's all crazy nonsense.
Steve, you know what? While we're here, I don't know if you heard.
Eesa.
More Eesa.
Yeah. Tragic loss. One of the nicest guys in Speaker's Corner. What a charming guy that probably did more benefit for Islam, for humankind, than any of the other numpty Dawa teams that come here. He was clearly a genuinely good, positive, sound guy. And it's a real loss. And he was 29, I think I heard. Yeah, left a wife, left a 2-year-old daughter.
Always a gentleman, wasn't he?
Always a gentleman, and always trying to, what's the word? Reduce trouble and be the peacemaker and be the sensible one. With a smile on his face, a really positive guy, really big loss. It is. I watched Ali Dawa's little tribute video, and it was really emotional. And in a way, they're all running off down there. And in a way, it's a shame that Speaker's Corner isn't active, because I think there'd be a lot of people commemorating him and remembering him.
There was online. I mean, there's a lot of people close to him. I was close to him. Raspic, Jordan. There was a lot.
Yeah.
It was just a lovely.
Yeah, he was absolutely, and a big loss, a big loss. So, yeah, really sad.
Oh well. All right, Steve. Thank you.
Cheers.
And in 8 weeks, how long have we got left?
Till when?
This is back open, do you reckon?
Boy, he told me the other day not till September. It can't be that long. It can't be that long. Well, I think people are going to be here tomorrow after this.
Do you reckon?
Well, as they're saying, the numbers in London, the numbers of infections in London apparently are zero, are getting near zero. They're in double figures now.
Yeah, but I thought it was alone. It's so densely populated.
It started high, but probably because we were early on, we're coming out the curve now.
Yeah.
So it's still big up north, but down here it's reduced. So
So what are you advising, that we come in tomorrow?
That's probably a criminal offence, isn't it?
True. Thanks, Steve.
Cheers.
Man like Steve, Steve Speaker's Corner inside the virtual building. Big up to Republican. I don't know if that's Pat or not, but if that is Pat, big up yourself, man. Big up to Pat wherever he is. Big up to Old Hickory. Nice to see you around, man. I thought you had COVID or something, man. I thought you had COVID. The Hermit said he's gayer than Happy Meal. He's actually got a son. For those who don't know, I can confirm that Steve has a son. But I don't know, man. Who knows? So yeah, things got a little bit more heated as things went on in the day. So I couldn't quite work it out. I think there was a rally against. It was like an anti-COVID-19 rally, but apparently there was other rallies planned the same day. So there was a rally planned on establishment paedophilia and grooming as well, and a guy called John Wedger went down there. I'm gonna play a little bit of TNTS Greek's video on John Wedger in a little bit before I open up the panel, and I want to get people's thoughts on John, but yeah, let's review some of this footage of from TNTS Greek. I think big up to G Truth as well. G Truth was down there today recording. I could run some of G's actually. Big up to Overkill Truth. I'm gonna use some of your footage. That's alright, matey. If I can find your channel. Yeah, man. Big up to Truth. He was posting quite a lot of videos today. Alright, let's play. I'll play one of these ones quick.
Why don't you go on Westminster Bridge and have a dance?
Because you are my priority right now, sir. As you said,
I'm moving.
Yeah, he's doing it.
Encouraging you to leave.
Thank you, officer. Cheers for that.
So,
Well, I will move slowly,
Okay.
according to my own wishes,
Okay.
Well
not
done.
your commands.
Okay.
You do not order me
My
around.
job is to try and save lives today, sir. Right? You don't know.
Yeah,
anything
you
about
ain't saving
virus.
lives. You
Right,
ain't
okay.
saving lives,
I'm
Carl.
not
Come.
saving lives.
Yeah,
I
come.
keep
You're taking
two in
orders,
the
that's
pot,
all.
all right?
Yeah.
Right.
The
Come, Carl.
dilution
Sir,
effect
goodbye.
in the
Goodbye.
wild
I'm asking you to leave.
is
Goodbye.
more than safe, right?
Right. We've gone through.
Talk to the
I'm at
medical
the end
profession.
of my ability to encourage and
Talk
explain
to the
you
medical
legally.
profession and get your facts straight.
Yeah.
Get your arguments straight.
Okay.
Stop
He's right,
making
Gov.
lies to the statistics.
So I'm
all
going to
right?
give you a moment to just go
Do you know what? I kind of feel for police at this point, because they're not actually. I mean, they're not representatives of the state. I mean, they are and they aren't. They're not the politicians. They're not in control of the legislation. They just have to enforce it. So I'm not sure. I know they get used as a sort of sounding board. But I don't know how much this works, to be honest. But still, I mean, the guy's utilising his free speech at Speaker's Corner, so I can't fault him for that. But
compose yourself and leave. Otherwise, you're going to get fined.
I'm leaving. I moved, right? One step at a
Goodbye.
time.
Goodbye.
He's leaving, Gov.
I'm going to give you a moment because I don't want this to be a standoff. I'm just trying to be adult with you. I don't want to be a standoff. I'm not going to pout. I'm asking you and encouraging you to leave. So I'll
He's
come back in
leaving.
a moment. If you haven't left,
Everybody here, how much is the fine?
it's £30 fine to start with.
£30.
Yeah, and yeah.
And if I keep standing here, you're going to charge me £30 every day or every minute?
If fines don't work, then you're not going to escalate, no way. So ultimately, I'm not going to get the stand up with you. I'm going to act very reasonably and rationally with you.
I suggest you go to Westminster Bridge and dance with
I'm going to
President
come back
Dick.
to you in a moment. And if you haven't
Dance with President Dick.
give you a fine, right?
Dance with President Dick.
Moving or you staying in this area?
Dance
I'm
with
moving.
President Dick.
No, what? But I live here. Don't even get funny with me. I live
Dick by
here.
name.
I live
Don't
around
get
here.
Dick by
You are
name.
getting funny with me. Leave me alone. Go and bully someone else. Go and bully someone else. Because you wouldn't do it if you didn't have a uniform. Yeah, I'm bullying. Go away. Go away. That's what we do is take orders. Go away. I'm moving. Go and get some more orders, mate. That's what we do is take orders, mate. Fucking do some due diligence, guys. Flipping out. Fuck me. Like on a power trip. You only get away because you've got a uniform. Fucking idiot. Right, I'm going to cut off and go and have a fag and chill out. See you soon. Told him about himself.
yeah, man like G Truth. I hope he did get himself calmed down. He's got some more footage though, so big up to G Truth, man. What was I going to say? Yes, John Wedger has been speaking out for years, but he's not actually said anything. Do you know what? I'm so glad that you said that, I think without further ado, I'm going to get into this video about John Wedger. I'll get back into the... No, I'm not. I'm going to get this Corbyn video running first, and then I'll get into that. But yeah, just hold tight with me, yeah? I've got some things to say about this guy.
This is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And we say, we ask you, where is all this going? If this carries on like this, we have this big brother society.
Guys, just start moving back, give some space.
So there's the link between there's the link between Bill Gates and the sinister.
What is the link with Bill Gates? Well, there are two things which will happen if we don't succeed in ending this lockdown and bringing back our freedom. One is they'll be imposing a world vaccine on all of us, which will probably become compulsory, or they'll coerce you into following it.
Why is Bill Gates doing this? Is he jealous of Apple?
Sir, you carry on.
I don't know if this guy on the left is trolling. This guy is saying, why is Bill Gates doing this? Is he jealous of Apple?
It's fine, you're
5G towers will be installed everywhere. 5G enhances anyone who's got illness from COVID. So they work together.
Have you seen the video online of the engineer with the COVID-19 on the circuit?
What I would say about schools is that there's talk about should schools go back because no one should go to work if it's still dangerous to do so. Well, I would say all the schools that have got a telecom tower within 400 yards should not be open. They should remove those towers before any schools can go back, because those towers...
Can we give a bit of space, please?
This was actually from today, people are saying. It's from today. And yeah, she is quite pretty, to be honest. She's got a bit of a honker, but she's alright.
A bit of space. Thank you. A bit of space. Not my face, hello. Then.
They're also harmful, and it reduces your immune system and reduces.
Sir, can you step back, please?
Fertility.
Thank you.
Piers, can I get your opinion on the video circulating online?
Watch that elbow.
We all know that this social distancing has failed in its own terms. Countries which haven't had social distancing have done better in their own figures. Sweden, South Korea and so forth. The point now is that the figures are made up. The NHS or the government can give different guidance to anybody.
You're standing next to me, you've just come into the space. I'm taken away. Obviously, I'm moving into a space, but you've just moved into my 1 metre space, haven't you? You've just actively moved away from there towards me. Thank you. I do, sir. There's a large gathering. We're currently in a public health crisis.
Which is great. Is that about ascertain all? We oppose this.
Thank you, sir.
The CV-19 is not a pandemic.
Is that the guy? Asif? I see. Alright, so the guy on the left who was asking about Microsoft and Apple, that's like he's like a satire guy, like a TV troll.
The total deaths January to April in America.
Western Goddess said, where's Haiku when we need him? Haiku respects social distancing, man. Haiku's been doing this 2 metre rule from day. What are these people just completely flouting it? But yeah, anyway, whatever.
America, Europe, Britain are the lowest.
Dunya is nothing, mate. There is just a cloud of COVID particles floating around. If there's anyone who's got COVID in that area, they're just floating, man.
For 5 years, total deaths from everything. So we know that it's not a pandemic. They also said in March the 19th that it's not a high consequence infectious disease. It's not a high consequence infectious disease. That is their words. Yet they're telling us there's a pandemic. It's a pack of lies to brainwash you and keep you in order until vaccination is not necessary. any cures for COVID. Chloroquine and zinc will cure it 100%, the doctor said.
So,
If you've already got an existing
step back. Look what you've just done. No, think about it. Think about your actions.
We're trying to be. I'm trying to get away from you. You're being confrontational.
Confrontational. I'm trying to respect your group. Actually slid up against the skipper, walking into me, walking into another police officer. Get away from you.
You've got an option at the moment. Obviously, you've gone against the direction to leave, so you've got an option. You can give me your details and I'll issue you an FPN.
I'll give you my details in a minute.
Where's your social distancing? Where's your social distancing? Where's the 2 meters?
Forced vaccination is a deadly scam. Stop interrupting me.
No, I need you to
Forced vaccination is a deadly scam.
freedom of speech!
Bill Gates plans to make billions and billions by universal forced
No forced
vaccination.
vaccination.
No forced vaccination.
No forced
5G
vaccination.
and 4G, 3G is dangerous. You want to see my 5G?
No forced vaccinations. No forced vaccinations. No forced vaccinations. No forced vaccinations.
I've got my ID on me. I told the officers I'll give it to them afterwards.
No, not afterwards, sir. It's not negotiation.
Social distancing.
Go home. I should go home. You've instructed me to go home.
And
if you aren't, as I direct you to go home, and you go
Directed you.
home,
Thank you.
I will go and speak to the next
But
person.
every time I try to walk away from you,
Man came out in the bait mask, man. Fucking hell.
you're following me like a my shadow.
Because I am going to be your shadow for a minute, because I want to speak to you.
So what are you doing?
You
Trying
haven't
to,
got a reasonable reason.
what are you doing?
be
Trying to
there.
speak to me or trying to me, or telling me to go home?
I'm directing you to go home.
Do you want to hold my hand home, sir?
And that means
Do you want to hold my hand home? I'll show you where I live.
In that case, because you are not going to follow my
Yeah, I will assist
Let's move it back just so we don't have to trip over it. Minnie. So it carries.
Here we go this way. Thank you for all you do.
Yeah, this. I'm not sure about this strategy. I don't know if there's a particular containment strategy the police use when they have protests at the park, but this just seems some over the top. This seems like some waste of police resources, to be honest. I don't know. It's fucking Piers Corbyn, man. He's like some aging crusty. He's not exactly, you know, he's not like a rugby player. It's not like this guy's gonna take down your centre forward and your prop. And you know, I don't know, man. This guy doesn't look like he's about to take off on anyone.
Right, you ready? You ready? Shame
on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
Your paycheck, you feel good about yourself.
Shame on you!
Shocking.
Coward! You absolute coward!
Disgrace,
Coward!
disgrace.
Disgrace! Coward!
Get your paycheck at the end of the month. Feel good about yourself.
This is right. We're going this way. Move back for us. Move back. Move back. Move backwards. Keep moving. Move back, sir. Move back, sir. Move back. Where's Jeremy? Shame on you!
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
There is now a cloud of particles just floating around. You see how everyone is shouting at the top of their lungs, yeah? I don't know what that fucking corner was like today, but I'm glad I weren't there.
Shame on you! 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 Your karma's coming for you, all of you. You should be
Bonzi! My man! You alright, chap?
How you doing?
Man, give him the elbow bump. Big up TNTS Greek, man.
Bonzi, what's going on here? Tell us.
I got no idea. What the hell was going on?
Oh, come on, Steve. Bonzi, I had an interview in weeks.
Come on, Steve, admit it. You want to be with them, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you're getting away from. You're going on camera as well. I ain't seen you in about 10 weeks.
Madness. We had quite a few comments coming during that video. Alright, so people are different positions, I'd say. Comrade Pepe said, Corbyn brother is insane. Maybe, possibly. He's I think he's anti this like global warming thing, from what I remember. He doesn't believe that in anthropomorphic global warming or whatever. A said, I don't know, it wasn't A. Jordan M said, this guy definitely needs 12 officers. Old Hickory said he's wiry. Yeah, I think that's the exact word for him, man. The human race and its many complexities, says the siren. Corbyn looks so dangerous. Should be SO19 present also. Yeah, man, they need the gun boys out for that one. They need the gun boys out for that. It's way more police than needed. Look, they're all bored, crowding around him waiting for some action, says Republican. Yeah, man, and you got PC Barnes just chilling at the back with Steve. Steve is so inner, man. He's in every little situation, every little passage. You just turn to the right or the left, and there's Steve with his little grin. Steve, man, big up yourself. Gain says, are police powerless to do anything other than... If police are powerless to do anything, then they should have just let it carry on and watch from far away. Yeah, I agree. I do kind of agree. I think Steve's right as well. I think tomorrow's going to be ram. I think people are just going to take tomorrow for any regular Sunday at the corner, and it's probably just going to scale down from here. Age case, you made some good points actually. I've always thought that the Corbyn brothers are part of the Fabian Society, closely linked to the establishment. It just all seems so set up, and they allowed all this to happen for show. Am I right in thinking that Russell Brand is Fabian Society? They're like a liberal, like London-based kind of think tank, NGO sort of thing. If that's the one, he's the same. He's in the same bunch, right? DJ Rizza says, "Well, surely this is worse than normal Speaker's Corner debates. People so close to each other." Yeah, I would say so. Man. I'm not sure what the deal is with police and PPE. I think they should probably be at least giving them little masks. It seems like a joke. They get given all these new souped up BMWs and Audis and that, and mad machine guns, but they can't get given some little masks to walk around while they're in a park. Nuts. Media in full force. Someone was saying something about a second wave. Second wave theory. I'm not sure. To be fair, I don't think this country can afford a second wave. I don't think so. I think we will just basically resemble. I can't see it happening. I really can't. I don't think Rishi can give out much more money, personally. Start to look a lot like Labour. I Love Soil says at least one has corona. Yeah, 100%. And I mean, I don't know what the yeah, I mean, I don't even want to think about it. COVID has risen in London after today, thanks to those hippies. Who knows what happened with coronavirus in, I think it was South Korea. Let's see if I can find this video, man. So this is what happened in South Korea after they started to ease their lockdown. Let me try and get this up in English if I can. Oh, well, that's not much use. Yeah, so basically, this is, I guess this is Seoul. This is after they locked down their city or their country again, after there was a second cluster of infections. Let's get the France 24 video up.
Korea was relaxing a lot of the social distancing schemes last week, and that meant that businesses, sporting events, and schools were getting back to schedule. And suddenly, this outburst of cases has taken everybody by surprise in South Korea. As you've noted, most of the spikes are connected with a case in a district called Itaewon, which is an entertainment district in the capital city of Seoul. Yesterday alone, we saw a spike in 34 people infected with the coronavirus. It's the first time since April 9th, since Korea has seen more than 30 reported cases of coronavirus per day. The main concern is that the cases are not just centralized in Seoul. In fact, there are people who visited this district, not just in Seoul, but the vicinity of Gyeonggi province or Incheon, and also to an island. There's also people from Jeju Island, which is about an hour plane ride from Seoul, who also visited the clubs. The government officials are trying to track down over 7,000 people who may have visited clubs in the district. Right now, there is some difficulty with identifying these people at the moment.
It's because they probably went out in masks.
But they're trying the best.
Fucking hell. Yeah, so basically people don't just go and hit West End as soon as they ease this lockdown. Don't start going shisha bars again. Yeah. I'm saying take it seriously. I don't know what the deal is, if this is some big conspiracy theory on their part or not. I don't think people should be taking risks. And I will say that I will back that. I know there's some people in the chat who are, some people don't believe this is something to be worried about and whatever else. But yeah, I mean, I would hope that you all stay safe regardless of what you think. Tanvir Chuma says we'll be getting military on the streets if there's a second outbreak. Well, yeah, that's got to be the proper lockdown, right? You can't. It's little halfway lockdown. It's got to be the proper Spanish lockdown or the Italian lockdown for it to be a real lockdown. It's no good doing this half-hearted lockdown and then going, oh, we've managed to do this with our stats. Look at our graphs now. We're not, just because I don't know. We want to see a massive. We want to see like a sustainable drop over time. I don't want to see no second dip. No second peak. Sorry, in the winter when the normal flu season hits. Ned Ludd says police masks, no use in a scuffle. Yeah, you're probably right there. You're probably right. There is some health and safety sort of logic driving that. Posh Labour people, added Ned Ludd. Yeah, I suppose so. Could well be. I think it's the David Icke crowd. Whoever said that is bang on. That is the David Icke crowd in full effect. Oh shit! Big up Shisu. And big up to Jamie One. Big up yourself, man. Yeah, I hope the family's well. Shit, big up TNTS Greek. I didn't even see you slide in, man. Big up, man. Yeah, good to see you back down at the park today, man. I'm gonna get into my man John Wedger. I'm gonna get into John Wedger if I can. My internet is starting to look shaky, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's gonna last or not. It's just started to look shake, just as the Greek turned up. So we'll see what's going on. Bruv, I had some bad boy Greek food yesterday. Actually, I had a savloka. It's basically just like a Greek kebab, innit? Greek kebab, some moussaka, some Greek falafel, some fish. Yeah, man, it was a proper spread. You know, I need to eat Greek food more often, man. Yeah. Big up to Rashma Akhtar. Big up to big up Shake One. Big up yourself, man. All right, let's get in. Let me try and get into this TNTS Greek footage. I hope you had a mask on, bruv. Okay, now. All right then.
Give anyone a hard time, you know. There's little bouts of shame on you and whatnot. I don't know what spurs that on, but it's I don't know. I don't know legally if anything this has ever been tested, you know. So.
John, let's start again. What?
Yeah.
Firstly, can you explain what is actually going on here?
Well, what's going on here? I think this is an anti-lockdown protest, but there's a mix going on. So I've recognised a lot of people from the anti-child abuse forums here. Okay. There's a hell of a lot of them there. There's
this guy just looks shifty to me. I don't know. He looks shifty, and I think anyway, I'm not gonna get into it.
A few people over there were anti-vaccines. Vaccines. There's a guy called Amir that over there. He's going on about the 5G, the vaccines, and how it's all linked in. He's very pro David Icke, so we're getting that. But I just think this is a lot of good people coming together. Hello, my friend. Coming together, really to sort of exercise their democratic right to protest. You know, so I think it's been a success. And there's a mix of people. So you know, the lady we're speaking to was an elderly lady. We've got young people here. We've got the 5G group. Kevin Green and his team are here somewhere. I don't know. There's been a bit of confusion as to where. Right, I'll just take this 1 second. I'll just take this and tell my man where we are. Martin. Where the main group is in the park. Right, so sorry about that, the phone goes, we're going live within a live. But what we've got is just all groups sort of merging together, and it's nice because the poignancy for me being here, this was meant to be the day of our protest, our anti-child abuse. I don't agree with the lockdown. I don't see why healthy people should be kept in. If there is a virus, I don't know anyone who's caught it. I was told of one guy who died of it that I knew, but when I spoke to his brother, he said he had a heart attack. Yeah. See you later, chaps. And you, see you later. Thank you so much. And then if you speak to anyone, they say they know someone who's died, and they're usually 80 years old. And we've been in the hospitals, we've had a look. We went into St Thomas's about a month ago, it was empty. My son went in for a broken toe the other day, he was seen in 10 minutes. So the hospitals are pretty much empty. I mean, road deaths are going to be down because there's no one on the road, you know. So I don't know. Look, I don't believe the government anymore. I work for the government, and when I saw what they're capable of doing, nothing surprises me. I'm not anti-police, not at all. We've got a good police force. I'd rather police by people in this country than in Spain, for example, or Italy, where they've got paramilitary police. Yeah. Where in Spain, if you look how compliant they've been on the lockdown, because they're panicking, because their police will batter them into submission.
So what do you think, why is everyone fearful, apart from media?
Well, I just think it has just been so instilled in people. What they've done is they've taken the insecurity straight into people's homes. Yeah. So they've said, this will affect you, this will affect your children, there's people that have lost their businesses because of this lockdown. You know, and then they'll blame the likes of me, the likes of you for going out. We're not their enemy. You know, we never caused this. This, for me, has taken the focus away from the child abuse. Before this went on, we was at a crescendo in the UK and globally, because paedophiles were being exposed at the highest possible level in our monarchy, in our political forum, in our establishment.
All right, let me just ask the chat a question. Who was the last prominent establishment type paedophile that you think was exposed, or you can remember being exposed? Just put a name in the chat if you know of anyone who's been exposed. Just let me know.
We had our protest was getting so much attention, and it was bringing so many groups together that have fallen foul of just this corrupt system which is attacking our children. If you attack the children, then you attack humanity. There are third world countries would never treat the children how our authorities treat our children here. How dare we ever point our fingers at these countries and say that they are backwards, you know, which is the British way. We do tend to look down on them. It is a money-making machine, child abuse. From cradle to grave, children will make money. Nothing is done to put it right. And when we see interviews like Darren, who gave the interview yesterday, Darren, there was a guy called Darren who was Bri! Is just doing a live here.
Who's he shouting at? Is that Brian Gerrish or someone who shouted that off camera?
Darren was a guy that Darren was a guy that was put into the care system for absconding from school because he was being raped in school by a teacher. He went to speak out. He was silenced in a court case, placed in an approved school. The approved school was a menagerie for paedophilia. It was an organised sort of, I don't know, well, it was brothel really, of young boys and young girls from families where their parents were dysfunctional, not coming from them. These kids were not only raped by visitors that were brought in and were fee paying, they were taken to woods, and a form of Hunger Games was then met out, where they were stripped naked, made to run. They were then caught, they were whipped by very, very wealthy posh people, and then they were buggered in a big orgy, a big sort of sodomite orgy in the middle. Young kids that needed assistance and all that. And do you know the sad thing about this? One of Darren's abuser was the magistrate who put him there. Whenever he got a visitor, he was grabbed by the throat by staff and told, if you speak out, we will kill your mother, we will kill your father. And when he left, he was given a probation officer. The probation officer was another one of his abusers. And then there was a member high up in the British establishment that was abusing him. Legally, we can't name this guy.
What? See, that's my first gripe with a lot of what this guy does, and a lot of the interviews that I've heard of him. He will do a lot of this. I don't know what the word is. He always has interesting stories. You know, it sort of scales up. So first, you know, there's a guy getting abused in a care home, and then I don't know. Maybe this is all true. Maybe this could all be true. I don't know. But it's always interesting that there's someone who is establishment but can't be named for legal reasons. To me, that doesn't sound like a whistleblower. Like, if you're a whistleblower, you should be out there taking the risk for all of these kids. You should be out there, you know, liaising with the police who are still, you know, in. I don't know. You should be doing something. It just seems like, I don't know. This one seemed weird to me.
Bishop Peter Ball, that was second in charge of the Anglican Protestant Church in the UK, who is a convicted paedophile and was best friend to Prince Charles. He was there abusing him, and so was Lord Bath. And Lord Bath was also named on a list of active Satanists. So, and these are all working together, these people, you know. And so this guy then went into a life of criminality. And of course, where did it all come from? It all come from the fact that he come from a terribly dysfunctional family, and he was picked on by this mafia of just paedophiles, really. But his story is not alone. So we were getting together, and we wanted to speak out against this, because it isn't going anywhere, because you've got people in Parliament like Harriet Hartman that have shown a bias towards paedophiles. You know, we have got people like Bishop Ball, who's best friends of Prince Charles, that have got the ear of Lord Carey, who's high up here, you know, in there. We've got people like Leon Britton that were child abusers, Lord Janner that was a child abuser, all high up. And then there's questions around, although he hasn't been convicted, but he was exposed as a man who likes rent boys, was Keith Vaz, who was in charge of the Home Affairs Select Committee, which is...
Just tell us something that we don't know, mate. You know, you're reading off a whole heap of names that the chat's just reeled off. Yeah, Leon Britton, he got mentioned. Cool. Jimmy Savile, BBC establishment. Cool. He got mentioned. Prince Andrew got mentioned. Who else got mentioned? My man Epstein got mentioned. Epstein, if you're Jeremy Corbyn. Ted Heath. And you quite rightly said there, Ned Ludd, no evidence against them. Now, I don't know. This guy just said certain people can't be named for legal reasons. If he's respecting the law, then surely he's going to extend it. I don't know. Like, what makes him say that Ted Heath and Leon Britton are sex offenders? But he's like so respectful of the law. He doesn't want to defame someone, slander someone or whatever. I don't know. It sounds weird.
The sort of the arbiter of if there is any wrongdoing in government and in public, that they will put it right. So at every level, it's like being in this park. Everywhere we go, they've got their doorman, so we can't go anywhere. We're stuck. So the narrative of the victims remains within this park and doesn't get out.
Do you have a charity or a foundation?
We've got a foundation, the John Wedger JONWEDGER Foundation. We're in the process of setting up a non-profit making organisation. We are getting together people that give free legal advice regarding the family courts. We have got counsellors. We've got counsellors also that deal with satanic ritual abuse. We have got a terrific woman who is one of the leading art therapists, and she's got a doctorate from Oxford, so kids might draw pictures, for instance, you know, and they might give it to the other parent in the family visit, and then she can disseminate and sort of decipher what is being drawn.
So your charity is obviously growing, right?
Oh, it's massive, growing,
so
yeah.
Where does it go from here for you personally? Where do you want it to go?
I want,
in terms of everyone contributing.
Yeah, I want this to the mainstream media. This is not on the mainstream media.
Yeah.
This is not being televised on the mainstream media, right? My friends just said that to me. Now, the media stay away from me. I'm not the only whistleblower. There are other police whistleblowers. There's another girl called Maggie. She gets the mainstream media with her. For some reason, they don't want to come near me. So we need the mainstream media. We need brave journalists that are willing to put the stories out. Unfortunately, they won't. So we're going to rely on alternative media, such as yourself and your channel, to put this story out. We need the Home Secretary to get on board and start questioning these police commissioners and police chief constables who have been part of the cover-up. And they've got to then start looking at the military intelligence organisations for their complicit nature and also proactive nature in silencing people. Because let's not forget, in order to silence, you need to serve people with D notices. D notices are defence notices, and they are the implement of the military intelligence, the MI5 and the MI6. So, you know, they are. So what we're seeing is these MI units, 5 and 6, which are there to protect the political and financial and economic stability of the UK, they are getting involved in silencing victims, survivors and whistleblowers of child abuse. Why? Do you know what we have to say? We have to say no more. No more. We should not be bowing down to this blatant corruption, you know. And you know, and let's get one thing. Paedophilia. I'm not worried about what religion anyone is. I'm not worried about what social background they're from. I'm not worried about economic background, you know, and I'm not worried about any of that. What I'm saying is paedophilia knows no boundaries. It will be in every single religion. It will be on every single social strata. And the one thing we need to make this clear, this is the glue that keeps these perverts together, and it then enhances the silence.
It's quite interesting you say that, because obviously we come here every Sunday and Speaker's Corner is, I'd say it's 90% religion based,
yeah.
Say 10% politics, but a subject that always gets brought up is grooming gangs.
Grooming gangs, yeah.
So that always gets brought up, so
yeah.
But it's actually, it's interesting that you said grooming, would it fall under the same category as paedophilia, would you say?
Oh yeah, definitely, so without a doubt. Yeah, it's a sexual offence against a child. Densely populated city in Western Europe. I never come across any what they call Muslim grooming. grooming gangs. There were some Muslims that were abusing children. There were some Jews that were doing it. There was everyone that was doing it. You know, we're seeing more that's coming out in the northern provincial towns. But you know, I give this talk on this, and I say, well, if we are to look at demographics and say the history of grooming gangs or child prostitution, and we want to pick on races, let's start at the beginning. First, you know, as much as it was documented, you know, it was British society. We take like the Jack the Ripper and children were used in prostitution, and then we take the children's homes, which were government run, you know, Christian children's homes, Catholic children's homes, Anglican children's homes were grooming kids. The Maltese were heavily involved in the 60s. They took over from the Italians. That led the way into the Windrush communities that were coming over. That led then into the Lithuanian and Latvian communities. That merged into the Albanian and the Kosovan communities. And then it's now going into the Bulgarian. Whenever ever a community comes, the first people that come there tend to be the gangsters to exploit. If you look at the Brits that went to Spain, who went to Spain? The likes of Freddie Foreman and all the gangsters, you know, and then now we go there on holiday. It was a Costa del Crime. Right. So this is all it is. So what I think they're doing, they are enhancing on a microcosm and making out it's a macrocosm. It is not the reality that I dealt with, you know. You will get it in areas where there is a predominantly Kashmiri Pakistani, because they will be the predominant groups there. But if you went to St Paul's in Bristol, you're going to get Jamaicans that are probably doing it. If you went out to Stratford in the East End of London, you've got the Albanians and the Lithuanians that were doing it. So it's, and then the biggest ones were the religious institutions. And then you've got the government institutions like these approved school, which is what my man Darren's going on. So I think it's been unfairly enhanced on certain. You know, we can't dismiss it. If someone does bad, they do bad. You know, they need to be dealt with. But and then there's a lot of politics involved as well. So it was never my reality. That is my. But again, my colleague who worked in Rotherham, it was her, reality, because that's the area she was dealing with in Rotherham. So I'm not disputing it. But in London, no, it wasn't.
Sorry, going back to this whole corona thing, John.
Yep.
Where does, especially the UK, I'm not dismissing any other country, but where does the UK go from here in terms of lockdowns and social distancing? Because there are people that are fearful, right?
They are fearful, but it's got into people's psyche now. Yeah. You walk down the street, they jump back like you got the plague.
It does say it takes 3 weeks for any new system to be implemented in.
Of course, and if you look at military training, 3 months of basic training. That's right. And you've changed the person for forever. Correct. We've got 3 months of lockdown. Yeah. They're going to change the psyche of people forever. And they've seen, again, I'm not blaming the boys and girls wearing uniform here. They're doing their job and that's that. But it's higher up. They know that they have had the world. They must be laughing at us. You know, laughing at the fact. Look, just a minute ago, it's calmed down a bit. We had maybe 30, 35, 40 police go steaming up there. They were all within feet of each other. Not one of them had a mask. And they've all come on minibuses, which are enclosed environment. Not one mask. You know, so there's no consistency here. You know, and I just think it is getting ingrained so much in the psyche of people. And what they're going to say now is, okay, we're back to normal, but it could still be there. It could still be there.
They talk about this like second spike.
Yeah. And it could come back at any time, and we're all going to die. And you know, I can't go and see my granddaughter. I mean, so it's illegal now for me to go and see, you know, just thinking, how have we got like this? What has happened? What has happened to this proud race that they have fallen, in my ideas, for the con?
Yeah, can you blame people? Because obviously we consumed by fear what you see.
Of course not. Of course not. You know, and again, you look at soap operas, all it is about drama. It's a need for drama and a crisis, and people think that they're going to die, and they're living a drama, and you know.
So
but
about all these other sort of, in inverted commas, we call them conspiracies like 5G.
Well, again, you know, there's people like Mark Steele that give good evidence about 5G, the fact that it is incredibly detrimental. I remember years ago a farmer saying to me, look at pylons, you know, high voltage pylons that were over, you know, a wooded area, and he said the oak trees die. So there's always been this radiation that has always caused, and of course, you know, if you hold this thing too near to your head, it hurts your ear. So I don't think it's good, and I think it's probably going to be an incredibly bad thing, you know. And I have listened to reason, and I think there is no need for it. But people have got a need for downloading quick, and then they'll say, well, if hospitals get it, then they can download information quick. So they always put the guilt on us. I think it's a very bad thing. I'd rather it weren't now. And of course,
Yeah, someone said he sounds too soft to be a policeman. I kind of thought that as well. I did think that. I think I'm not sure how he left the police. If he left, I think he had a breakdown possibly. I don't know. He seems to put a lot of. He basically says that he was put on these vice cases that led to undue stress. I don't know. He didn't seem 100% there to me. But yeah, someone else said that he does seem a bit soft. Big up to Hassan Saber inside. Big up to Saruman the White. Big up to Reactionary. I think I'm gonna. I think that's probably enough of that. So yeah, just reviewing some of the footage from Speaker's Corner today. And I guess there's going to be something going on down there tomorrow. I guess there's going to be a trickle of people. Last week, I know a couple of people turned up. Big up to Kay, Psycho Films. Big up Pavlov as well. I see you down there. Big up to Waleed as well. A few people have been going down there, but yeah, it's not. It's nothing like this stuff today. I haven't seen anything like it. It's the biggest collection of people that I've seen on film during this lockdown. So yeah, big up the Greek, man. I hope you got your fucking hell. I hope your immune system's prepared. Appreciate the footage, man. Mohammed Hamdan said he looks like he's on medication. I couldn't say. All right then. 5G has been used to control people for years. Well, 5G hasn't been rolled out. See, that doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, how is that possible? I don't know, man. Maybe. All right, look, Truth. If you want to jump on, I'll send a link out. I'll do a small panel this evening if I can. We've got Sixth Form Macy just tuning in. Yeah, Truth. I'll send a link out to the group. If you don't want to jump in. Yeah, I'm not sure about this 5G business, man. I don't know about it being controlled. It was 4G a couple years ago, wasn't it? So, big up Abu Bilal Maghrabi. Ned Ludd says cops retire at 55. Yeah, I think they get a bulletproof pension as well. I think their pension's some madness. Well, them civil service pensions are sweet, man. Big up to Cezanne. Big up the Madman Arrow. He said, head topped, it felt good. We'll do it again and again. Yeah, you're one of these people who needs help, man. Big up the people on Hangouts who need help. Big up the people who saw a certain individual going nutty in the comments on Raj's stream yesterday. I'm glad Raj took some action against that as well. Ned Ludd said the protest is mega dumb. Yeah, I think protesting against COVID is generally low IQ kind of behaviour. But to be honest, if things carry on, and if there's a second wave or whatever, I think that's when they will take it seriously. I don't think it'll be this police with no PPE and whatever else. I think it'll be riot gear and army if they need to do it again. Rooted Welsh is saying, remember the boxes outside shops which only young teens could hear? Yeah, I do, but I don't think that's 5G. Could be wrong. I'll have to break that down. If people wish to be concerned about wireless technology, then it's their right. It's their health, not yours. Yeah, I'm not telling anyone to do that. I'm not, but it's a different thing when people are protesting and possibly spreading. I mean, I don't know. What's your argument with this 5G thing, Truth? Are you saying that the illness is caused directly by 5G, or are you saying that 5G weakens the immune system so that people are more susceptible to the illness? What exactly are you saying? Because if that is the case, then surely there's still an element of transmission that's possible there. So you can spread this disease, right? So going out in a crowd is still a bad idea because they're rolling out 5G and it's going to weaken everyone's immune system and we're all going to catch something. So I don't know. Rooted Welsh is saying that the high pitched sound was 5G in an early stage. Okay, I'm not sure. No, I think we got to keep the two in. You got to keep the two separate, man. I think keep the two separate. Some of the weird stuff that I've seen recently has been stuff like that. What's it called? Thingy 201, Event 201, and stuff like that. And the Bill Gates involvement is, I don't know. I'm not sure about that foundation. I've got some concerns about that. A bunch of red pilled twats, says Green Destiny. Tons Dan can hear the speed of light. I can. 5G covers everyone in low radiation electromagnetic waves, and any object moving between signals can be changed into a 3D impression of what's in reality like radar. It's simple, nothing to do with COVID. It's like a 3D imaging kind of thing. You can do that with what do you call it? Them motion sensor things that you plug into Nintendo's. What they called? Yo, Reactionary, jump in, man. I'll drop a link out. Let's get a little conspiracy theory going. Let's get some conspiracy theories going. Reactionary is one for the conspiracy as well, man. People think it's just truth. Reactionary loves a good conspiracy, man. He's putting you on the spot, Truth. And we can have a conversation about it, man. Or maybe not. We'll see who jumps in. What's the topic? We're generally discussing the guys on at the park, and I'm opening up the panel gradually, but a man like Ali first in. Watch Ali say something off
Yo,
topic.
how are you, Dan?
I'm good, Ali. How are you, man?
Dan, actually, let's stick on the coronavirus thing.
All right. Well,
you know, today in Germany, they've restarted the Bundesliga, like the football season in Germany.
Is it?
But I'm quite shocked because surely you're playing football, it's contact involved. If one player's infected, is the virus not going to spread?
Bruv, I don't know. So what, they've opened up the stadiums as well?
Yeah, so basically what's happening with the stadium, no fans are allowed. So police monitor the whole thing. So if no fans are allowed, camera crew and commentators are allowed, and the football team, and there's sort of like restrictions on place, but the match is still continuing. And I was watching the football today on TV, so...
Well, big up the footballers, man. They're getting, for once, maybe they are actually getting paid the right amount of money. They're actually taking a risk to entertain people, so...
And there's talks about our football here returning. But my main issue is then, if the football's going to return, then schools are still closed, and the cricket team's going to go ahead in July. So like sports is coming back, but why can't they lift the lockdown restrictions then?
Well, you've seen what happened in South Korea, right? You saw this whole thing about the second wave that came after they opened up their nightclubs, like limited like release of the lockdown or whatever, and yeah, they had like the second spike. They're trying to trace 7,000 people now, so I don't know. Sixth Form Macy said no fans, only the team and staff plus the camera crews. Yeah, I think I saw something about that. So they got paper fans or whatever. They've got these like cardboard fans that are in the stands and whatever else.
Yeah. It's all been proper structured in Germany. They've got, but I think other European countries they've sort of lifted the lockdown a bit. I've got mates in Australia, and in Australia they've practically lifted the lockdown. Fans, the restrictions in place. That's all.
Interesting. I'm not so sure, man. I mean, this is like a back to normality of kinds, but it's not normal, is it? It's not. We're not back to normal. It's not like we're, it's not completely out of the. I don't know. If you're a football fan, maybe this is important to you. Maybe this is a required piece of normality for you to get, about your daily routine. If you're home working, or I don't know, if you've been laid off or whatever, who knows? Welcome to the panel, Ned Ludd. I think that's you. Welcome, man. I'll wait for Ned anyway. But interesting. They've already settled the league's football's not coming back in July, says Republican.
Yeah, but that's the UK. That's the Premier League here. In Germany, it's already they've got a thing happening in Germany, and it's working over there. So I doubt we're gonna follow Germany though.
And what's the deal with your studies and stuff at the moment? Are you still going? Are you like taking classes online?
They're just pretty relaxed about it now. I've not even done no work for 2 weeks, and no one said anything. And no one's even noticed.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about this, man. It seems like there's it's like a patchy approach. Everyone's got a different approach. Some companies have really got their COVID policy down. They've got the right things in place for their employees and whatever else. Other companies just sacked you. Some companies just shut down. Like, I don't know if you're in. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any sort of uniform approach. And you look around the world and you see different countries are doing different things. Certain things seem to be working better in other places than. I don't know. Rooted Welsh is saying an average of 1,500 people die every day in the UK, year in, year out. Yeah, again, I'm not really that concerned for my well-being, but it's older people that this is gonna, this has had a big effect on older people. Big up TY on the panel. Welcome, man.
Yeah, man, big up.
What's going on? You good?
Yeah, not bad. That's what you're saying, bro. You alright?
Yeah, good, man. Yeah, just like an unexpected review of the corner, and they had this protest down there today. So
I was watching bits and bats of it.
Yeah, it was. So they arrested Jeremy Corbyn's brother.
What's his name again?
Piers Corbyn.
Piers. Yeah, I knew he had some like a cool type of first name. Piers
Corbyn. He's been nicked, I think. Was being given like multiple warnings, but just speaking through this megaphone. This big crowd around him. And so yeah, we just watched that, and just sort of talking about, I guess, the easing of this whole lockdown. Ali just said that they've started up the football league in Germany, but there's no crowds. It's just the players, the camera crews.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that meme that's flying about? What they've done is they've asked all the fans to send in their pictures, so they get cardboard cutouts and put them on the seats, in the stadium, the empty stadium. And someone's only gone and sent a picture of Purple Aki.
man like Purple. Oh my god.
Man like Purple Aki's in the background, mate, with the, I don't know which Bayern munching Gladbach or something like that. One of their tops on, mate, in the background screaming. Yeah,
Purple Aki. Yeah, for those who don't know, if you don't know about Purple Aki, get to know, man.
Yeah, you need to Google it, man.
Go to a gym in the northwest of England, and you might get lucky. You might get lucky with man like Aki. But yeah, man. So yeah, just been been discussing that. Ali's run off now. I don't know what he's on. Ned's joined the panel for the first time, I think, possibly. Waiting for him to come off mute. But yeah, man. What's been going on? Have I spoken to you since Eesa passed or not?
No. Really bad news, man. It's really sad.
Yeah,
man.
man.
Sad news, man. They're a really nice guy, I think, I think the testimonies and what everyone's saying about him from all the different groups says what type of brother he was or what type of guy he was, really, if you think about it.
So many people, man. I saw Psycho Films shout him out. I saw ethno nationalists with like 14 as their logo shout him out. I saw Sunni, Shia, everyone was paying their respects. Christian, atheist, G Block, obviously the whole like dedication to him. So yeah, man, it was good to see that. Good to see that kind of across the board. Kind of acknowledgement. Big up Reactionary as well, man. Your words, man. I think you kind of led the way in sort of in terms of tributes. I think yours was above and it was the next level, I would say. So big up to yourself, Reactionary, man. Ned has just slipped off the panel. He's back, Ned.
So, Dan, what are you saying about this lockdown, then? What
Bruv, I've just started a delivery job. I've just started this. I think I'm now. Maybe you class me as like a key worker. I'm on the front line.
Yeah.
I'm like delivering fruit and veg to like old women in the sticks who don't want to go to the supermarket. I think that's a key worker now. Apparently.
Yeah, that's key. Yeah.
So yeah, man. Just keep myself.
So you're getting them claps. So you're getting them claps at 8 o'clock, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I am. Yeah.
Isn't List a key worker too then? Because as far as I was aware, the rule is still on.
I think so. In times like this, yeah, I think people like that are key workers, man, or considered to be. So yeah.
Dan, Ned needs help switching the mic, speaking and stuff. He's dropped a message saying, how do you switch on the mic?
Okay. If you're on your phone, if you press the screen, there'll be 2 or 3 buttons that should pop up on the screen, like the red hang up button. Left hand is the mic to come off mute, and the right hand is your camera. So just press the left hand button for the mic, or if you're on a PC, then just click.
He's on a PC because you can't drop those sort of like text messages on a mobile phone.
All right. If you just click on the Hangout video call window, and it will bring up the 3 buttons. The middle one is the hang up button. The right one is the cam button, and the left one is the mic button.
I was thinking of your show today, Dan. I was listening to Gabriel's album in it, so I remember you were talking about Gabriel before, innit?
Talking about who?
Gabriel.
Oh, dreams can come true, Gabriel. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Reactionary, you've come off mute, man. Big up yourself.
Yes, big up, Dan. Big up everyone on the chat.
Respect, sir, man.
How you doing?
Yeah, good.
Yo, big up the whole family, the whole squad. Big up.
Anibal Ras, big up yourself. Long time no see, man. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, we were just we've been discussing like 5G. We just got to the topic of Eesa, so I was bigging up Reactionary for his video, and someone in the chat has just said that Betty might have now given a shout out to Eesa. I'm not focusing on that. We're gonna leave all of that for I think leave that for the dogs.
Yeah, we
man.
shouldn't even be talking about that woman, you know what I mean? We should just be bigging up Eesa because you're such a good brother, such a humble brother. I met him many times at Speaker's Corner, and I've got so much love for him, man. He was a great person, you know?
Oh, wait, I think MIC187 wants to jump on the call. All right, cool, man.
What's the topic? What were you talking about?
Yeah, as I said, we just got onto the topic of Eesa. You jumped on the call just as Reactionary came in. I don't know if Reactionary wanted to say a couple of words.
I think everybody's being touched or affected, and it's good to see everybody sort of united in their appreciation of him. So it's kind of brought people together to some extent as well, and we realise we're a community, and I appreciate everyone who's part of this community. We all add something to it, and obviously we'll miss Eesa.
Yeah, I wanted to say as well, we should strip away all the doctrines and religions and all of that. At the end of the day, he was a great human being, and it was a role model for all of us, and how we should carry ourselves. Simple as that, you know.
Yeah, and I think it's like the second person at the part that I've really this kind of really hit me in terms of like realizing what has been lost potentially. Jagraj Singh was one, and Eesa is the second. And yeah, I mean it's funny. I mean at the start of the whole this whole lockdown, I think there was discussions about just the sheer probability of like the morbid nature of this disease or this virus or whatever. Like a couple of people are going to die from these hangouts, you know.
Dan, do you remember me saying something about that? That everyone's arguing with each other all the time.
Yeah.
And the things come now. Can you imagine if one of the people on here passes away? Remember?
Yeah.
And I remember saying it, man. I was like, because I was thinking, you know what? Everyone's just arguing and whatnot, and people are dropping like flies, and these guys are still going on each other. Can you imagine if one of them dies now, and how they're gonna react? I remember saying this, bro. 100%. I remember saying it, and it was on your panel.
Yeah, man. It's I think it kind of brings it home. And yeah, I mean, life is short. I think you got to kind of make your interactions meaningful, worthwhile. Also, kind of keep links with people. Tell people what they mean to you while you still got the chance to. Because yeah, I mean, I used to big up Eesa, but I wish I'd have invited him onto the panel more. I wish I'd have chased him up a bit more in the chat and kind of been a bit more proactive with that. But yeah, it's how it goes, man. Rest in peace to him, and yeah, I'm assuming he's been buried now. I'm assuming his janaza's happened already. Yeah.
I think it's a great example in that we shouldn't have to be looking back and saying, "Oh, we wish we done this." At the end of the day, it's an example for all of us that this can happen to any of us. You know what I mean? We might not be here next year or in 10 years' time, so we should really appreciate each other and try and build a more coherent community.
Yep.
Big up yourself. Welcome to the panel.
Dan, what are you making of this
Thank you for
whole
having
thing
me.
about kids going back to school?
Kids going back to school. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't think it sounds like. I don't think it sounds like a.
It's not a well thought through idea.
I don't think it's been thought through.
Part, is it?
I don't think it's been thought through. Unless, like I said, this is all just the herd immunity strategy playing out on the low, you know.
You know, one thing I can't digest is that the incompetency that's kind of like evident or visual to us. I'm not buying that incompetency. I believe it's all strategic and premeditated and pre-planned.
Why do you
meticulous
believe that?
planning. It's just because, look at, like, I'll give you an example. You know, the Tories. You're dealing with a group of people who are very, very good at propagating false narratives. Yeah? Very, very good. Over the last 7-8 years, if you look at their tactics during elections, that is their strongest point, is basically projecting certain ideas into the mindset of people. They're masters at this. There's no way overnight they have become this incompetent. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It can't happen like this. It's all part
Incompetent
of
how? What have they done?
I look at the mixed messages. That just the mixed messages alone. Go out, but don't go out. See people, but don't see people.
Oh yeah.
You know, right from the word go, I took my kids out of school a week before anyone else. Do you know that? I was wearing masks in school when the teachers schooled. They were looking at me thinking, are you for real? And I pulled my kids out because the instant a week before they pulled the kids out, Boris was saying it's safe, go out. but no more than 200 people can gather in one spot. Then the very same day, in the very same conversation, he's saying, don't congregate together. From there, you know, when a politician is saying two different things, he is basically relieving himself of all responsibility. He's putting the responsibility into the hands of the people who are listening to make the decision. If it works out right, good for me. If it works out bad, it's your fault. That's the narrative of, you know, where they give you the two options. The whole idea is, so tomorrow, if things go pear-shaped, it's because you guys didn't do the social distancing properly like we told you. That's why. It's not because we sent you out early.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I give you my opinion of all this virus bullshit?
Yeah, go for it. Well, you just said.
Well, I'll tell you. I have two theories. One theory is that it's a total hoax, meaning there is no virus, yeah, and it's all made up to control us. That's one theory. Number two is there is a virus, and it was man-made in a lab. Do you know what I mean? It was man-made, and they've released it out to the public, but it's not as bad as they're making it out, because they're saying it's just like a cold, you know what I mean? So it's not even as bad as a cold, and every year thousands of people die from a cold, you know what I mean? So that's my theory.
You know, as far as, you know, the controlling bit?
Yeah.
You know, like when people said they're doing this to control us, they already control us. The control's already there.
Taking it to
This
a
isn't, this is,
now,
yeah.
You got to remember there's the lockdown, so meaning...
It's bigger than that. It's not even about us. We're nothing in this. It's not about controlling us. This is all about China. Full stop. The global monetary system and their vice-like grip over the past 10 years has been loosening slowly and slowly, and the Chinese dragon is getting an iron grip on the world monetary system and the global, how do you say it now, industries and the global business world. They're getting hold of it. Do you know, right, get on this, you know, whilst all this was happening in Europe, yeah, the pandemic and this and that, where loads of people, do you know Chinese billionaires were sweeping up, coming in, doing hostile takeovers of big brand names in Europe? Like, you know, that did, yeah. They actually, the head of the European Union came out and said, the worst thing right now, the most dangerous thing going on right now is not this pandemic, it's what's going on behind the scenes in the business world, what the Chinese businessmen are doing. They are coming into Europe and they are snapping up all these businesses. Doing hostile takeovers of big brand names in Europe. Like, you know, that is, yeah. They actually, the head of the European Union came out and said, the worst thing right now.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you, Orange.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, how is everyone?
Yeah, good. Long time no see.
How you doing? Yeah,
Hello.
I know,
How are
right?
you doing?
I was a bit ill, actually. I'm not sure whether I caught this coronavirus crap, but I've recovered now. Yep.
Well, I suppose a lot of people are actually. I think Buddha got it and recovered. Did you just self-isolate? You just called up like the doctors and they just told you to self-isolate, or what?
Yeah, they're just self-isolated, and at first they were telling me it was a chest infection. That's what they told me originally, it was a chest infection, and then my asthma was really bad, and I haven't had asthma since I was a child.
Orange, are you positive?
What?
Have you tested positive?
Have I? No, I haven't been tested.
All right,
I've
all right.
recovered now, so even if I took
All
it
right,
now, it wouldn't come
don't.
up.
Yeah, you're all right then. You're all right.
Yeah, I'm
Just
okay.
someone in the chat was saying something about I don't know, the Jews own the Chinese banking system or whatever. But from what I know, you know, like we've got the National Health Service. Do you know in China, it's called the Rockefeller Health Institution. Their NHS, China's, and it was established in 1918 by the Rockefeller Institution of America. But that's not to say the Rockefellers have overrun America. Mao kicked them out. Mao kicked all these bankers and whatnot out. And that's why China has got to where it's got to. And now they want to bring China down. So this whole virus is all about
So
China.
do you think they've purposely leaked it in
Donald,
China?
yeah, no. It's, I can't really say about that, but the end goal is China. Donald Trump today in the morning on the White House lawn to Fox News has basically said word for word, We used to build loads of things in our country and we used to export them. And the reporter asked, yeah, what happened? Globalists. They're called globalists. They're really bad people, I tell you. Word for word, this is really bad people.
You
They
know
want the
what,
whole
TYO?
world.
Yeah.
They want the whole. Can I just say they want the whole world to be united and operating as one? But not anymore. Not under my watch.
So what Donald Trump's doing whenever he says the word globalists and then pauses briefly, he's electioneering. He's putting out his campaign message. He knows that his base is going to be anti-globalist.
Yeah.
So he's always saying certain keywords. He's using China and using globalism to
but you do
next
realize
campaign.
Trump is a globalist himself. You do know that.
Yeah, he's
a fucking globalist.
Even the Chinese are part of the same empire as well. Don't think that they're not part of this. If you
Hypocrite,
look at that
you know what I mean?
agenda, if you look at that agenda 201, even just prior to that, there was the people who participated in Agenda 201. Do you know who they were? It included the head of the CDC of China.
That's why I feel like they're all involved in it. It's like
They're
a
all part
massive
of it. Yeah.
They're all involved in it.
Who? I didn't miss that. What was that?
Assalamu alaikum, Reactionary.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you, Akhi?
Hey, how you doing, brother? Is that parking ticket?
Yeah, long time, man.
Yeah, good.
How's your Ramadan?
Yeah, good.
Alhamdulillah. Good to see you well, man.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Thanks. Yep. So yeah, we were just talking about the this pandemic that we're currently experiencing, parking ticket, and I'm just making the point that all of the countries that, whenever you hear Donald Trump putting down China, calling it the Kung Flu and all this kind of thing, he's electioneering. He's trying to he's preparing himself for the next campaign because they got elections coming up. As for China, they're part of this pandemic because they were in the Agenda 201 conference. So,
wasn't it supposedly in a Chinese lab, but it was an American contract?
yeah. And then you had Professor David Shriver or something like that. I don't remember his name exactly. From Harvard University, the head of the chemistry department. He was the one who got paid by China to build a lab in Wuhan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those kind of labs, you don't put them in near towns or nothing, because that's
Have you seen a couple of months before all this happened? Did you see how the FBI and CIA were picking up loads of Chinese students and people for spying in America? This is literally last year, around September, October time. And a lot of them were Harvard professors. And I think the guy that you just mentioned, he got picked up as well, because he'd been paid $50,000 or something like that to set something up in China. But he'd been working at a university campus here as well, and loads of students. But this was before this virus even came out, literally before that.
So the whole country is shut down. You can't go and get a haircut because the barbers are closed, the hairdressers are closed. Why aren't they open?
No,
because
the barbers are smashing it right now.
Are they open?
Open. They're doing home shots. They're going around charging 25, £30
No, I'm
for
talking
a
about
haircut.
the actual, the places, the actual shops.
So how serious can it be then? If you're saying close shops, but then people are going into people's houses.
Exactly. The guy who advised the government to shut down to introduce social distancing, he himself didn't practice social distancing. He would go out and meet and conduct an illicit affair.
He had an affair, yes. Yes. He was sneaking out to see his young little assistant. Yeah, he was doing a little Monica Lewinsky job, weren't he? He was.
Yeah.
Did you hear the White House press briefing? I think it was 10 days in, the 10th briefing. Like before, all the reporters come there and it's playing and recording and they're all talking and everything. One guy's walked in with a mask. And the other guys, one of the other Fox reporters has turned around and said, "Why are you wearing the mask? Well, we're not wearing it in here. We've all had the vaccine."
What? They've had the vaccine?
Yeah, this is the 10th day where they do that. Every day they do that at the White House briefing about coronavirus. I think it was the 10th or 11th. Google it; it'll come up. And before the president gets there, it's like rolling, isn't it? Recording, you're just waiting for him to come or whatever.
Yeah.
And the press are all sat there. At that time, one press guy comes in with a mask, and another guy says to him, Why are you wearing that for? We've all had the vaccine in here anyway. And
So
then it's just
basically
the
there is a
reaction.
vaccine.
What they're saying is, the reaction from everyone else
Mm.
was not normal. They just carried on like nothing happened. If he said something and it was a joke, they should have reacted like, "Oh, it's a joke, whatever."
Oh, I see.
But the way they just like planed it over and just carried on, like it wasn't even funny. It's either funny or it's serious.
So would you take a vaccine?
Would I take a vaccine?
Yeah. If they say that there's a vaccine that,
Why would I
we
need a
advise
vaccine if they
people
said?
to...
This is what I don't get about the vaccine. Why would I need a vaccine if they say 99% of the people will survive it?
Not only that, why
Can you understand where I'm coming from?
when we've
A
been
vaccine would be for something that's
Have
got a real high death rate
Have you
and
taken
really
the flu
contagious.
vaccine?
What?
You know, there's a flu vaccine.
No,
Has
I've not.
anybody here taken the flu
I've not
vaccine?
I've
taken a
only
flu
ever
jab.
taken the flu. I've only ever taken the flu jab once, and I was never been so ill in my life.
Anyone else notice how Donald Trump doesn't give an inch to Bill Gates? Have you noticed that?
Bill Gates, yeah, he's at Microsoft. Bill Gates is like a walking institution, man. He's like his own kind of boss. I don't know. He's a billionaire. He can go around the world. He can kind of do soft diplomacy without and it's all almost sanctioned by the US. It's not officially stamped by the US, but he kind of does US foreign policy for them in a way.
Yeah, have you seen that documentary? It's a new one by Corbett Report. He's done part one.
Big up the
about Bill
Corbett
Gates.
report, man.
Yeah,
I've not seen that one.
His latest one. It's fascinating.
Hence your use of the word plandemic. I like that. Reactionary. Yeah, man. I'll see if I can get that up. I'm not going to be able to play it. I wish I could share videos on this thing. It'd be wicked. But
React. What do you make of? What's happening with the Hajj for starters? Any news on that?
I suspect they'll allow it.
No, but they'll allow you locals, but not anyone from outside, though.
No, I think they will allow it. They might restrict certain numbers from certain countries. That's what I think will happen. They'll do some sort of controlled.
Yeah, but how can you control that?
I don't get how the aviation industry is going to get back on its feet.
Oh, it will. But everything will get back. Look, if you check out the news reports for the past 2 days, they've all been about the economy. Have you noticed that?
Mm.
And the recession, the coming recession, is going to be the worst thing we've ever seen. You know why? Because this recession, this was the real issue. There was no way the public was going to tolerate another bailout of the banks, another economic crash like what we had in 2008 and 2007. So they needed an excuse. And the coffee, or whatever you want to call it, coffeed, this is the excuse for bailing out the economy with $6 trillion and another $3 trillion that the Democrats are proposing in the United States. And what's his name? Sadiq Khan ramming through this hike of the congestion charge all of a sudden. Anyway.
Just saw some footage from Saudi Arabia. So they've got these weird space age, I don't know what you call them, CT scanner things, these big things that you walk through. There's like social distancing in the Grand Mosque in Saudi Arabia.
But did you hear what Israel want to do to the children? That they want to microchip them so that they can monitor social distancing, and if they get too close to one another, it sounds an alarm or alerts the adult. Have any of you heard this? Yeah, go and have a look at that. That's what Israel want to do.
I got a question.
They're a bunch of, you know what? They're proper weirdos, man. Seriously, look at a time like this. Look at that, where their mind is.
Why? All right. If this is sort of planned, what's the reason for social distancing? How do the elite benefit from making everybody not congregate together?
Fear.
I think it makes people rely more on artificial intelligence, and I think that's part of the agenda as well.
It's
we're
not
less
just that.
sociable face to face. We're now, even now, I never use Zoom or anything like that. Do you know how many Zoom freaking conferences I've been on? I've been doing my workouts through Zoom with my friends that I would normally go to the gym with. Do you see what I mean? So now I'm all reliant more on the AI. Does that
And
make
Zoom
sense?
is just another form of Hangouts. Why Zoom in particular?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Why is everyone pushing Zoom? And I think someone was saying that. I think someone got caught out. It was like a student or something. It was like writing messages about their professor or something. Like, I don't know, cussing them or whatever. And like the professor has access to the whole like log, like all of the logs of all of the Zoom meetings that they host. So it's like there's questions about privacy, people jumping on and thinking certain things are private and they're not, getting back to their bosses and whatever else. So yeah, I don't know what Zoom is, where the money trail goes with that one, but I'm sure someone's going to dig something up in not too long. But yeah, I've just got some footage up in the background on silent of this this Israel thing. So he wants to put sensors in the whole of so it's just in everyone. I don't get this. I don't get this Netanyahu guy. I don't get how he's still in power, to be honest. I don't understand what he's about. But this does sound very. Yeah, this sounds very like. It sounds dystopian, to be honest, man. It sounds like some 1984 stuff, and I'm not surprised that Israel is the kind of the society that's pushing it, but. Still,
yeah, also that's quite dangerous for the children as well, you know, because if I was a paedophile and I wanted to track a child, that would just make it easier. That was one of the critiques of that.
I got pedo-geddon in my head now.
Oh gosh, did you see that documentary about Pedogate?
Assalamu alaikum.
Pedogate 2020. Alaikum salam.
How are you, Reactionary? Long time.
Yeah, who's that?
Abu Khattab.
How you doing, Abu Khattab?
Abu
How's
Khattab,
your Ramadan going?
welcome to the panel, man.
Good, thanks.
Thanks to your team.
It's your first time, I think. I don't recognise your voice.
I was on Go Live's panel before, like 1 year ago.
Oh, well, welcome to the panel, man.
Thanks.
My name's Dan. It's probably easier than TOITN. It's a bit of a mouthful. Welcome,
Dan,
welcome to the panel.
How you doing, Dan?
I'm good, man. We've just been discussing this COVID stuff, Bill Gates, and the sort of global response to it. I don't know if you've got any thoughts on like microchipping, which is what the Israelis have just started to do.
Is it microchipping? Yeah.
Yeah, they're apparently looking at microchipping as a way to ensure that citizens maintain a social distancing and they can track the spread of the virus. I don't know, efficiently. I don't know what the theory is, but yeah. So yeah, that's what we're discussing.
TYO made an interesting point. Do you think there's an internal hustle, an internal wrestling match going on between Donald Trump and Bill Gates?
Do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think so. I think it's all a show, to be honest. I think it's all a big show.
I mean, we have to explore all the possibilities, right? So one of them is that Bill Gates, none of the elite of America even thought it was possible that Donald Trump would become president. Somehow he managed to, right? So all the globalists and all of the Obamaites and all these other people, they were all anti-Trump. Bill Gates may be one of those people that says, even though you're the president, I'm going to show you who's boss. And he's used his global virus strength. That's his weapon of trying to destroy Trump or put him in line. I don't know.
It's an interesting. I mean, I don't know. I guess you could say Silicon Valley leans a lot more left than they do right. I don't think they were expecting to kind of be kowtowing to Donald Trump. So perhaps there is this democratic kind of agenda to push stuff like vaccines, is to use that as like a soft power tool in the developing world. And that, maybe Bill Gates is just going ahead as planned, just under a different administration. I mean, there was that. I'm trying to find the article, but there was I think it was one of the CEOs of Google wrote like an open letter to Obama, kind of saying, well, to like basically the whole power structure, like the Senate and everyone, basically saying that it's time to allow Silicon Valley to like offer its services, I think, to the political process. And I don't know, they were basically saying, like, give us our little space. Like, we kind of control stuff. Facebook have massive data, Google have massive data. You rely on us so heavily, you might as well just incorporate us into the fabric of the system, you know? So,
Is that Shahid?
Shahid, yeah, that's Shahid.
Shahid tucked in on the end.
Yeah, don't you recognise him?
Yeah, I recognise Avatar.
All right, guys, I'm going. But I hope you guys that are fasting. I hope. You have a
No,
good
we broke
Ramadan.
up fast.
Thanks,
We
Orange.
broke up fast.
Orange,
fasting as well?
big up yourself.
No, I'm not fasting. But see you later, guys. Bye.
See ya.
Alright, see you later. Take care.
See ya. Take care. Orange citrus.
OITN sponsored by Foster's.
What is this Foster's thing?
Oh, that's
man?
Ali. Ali, assalamu alaikum, Ali.
Walaikum.
This guy trolls a lot.
You trolls a lot.
You do, mate.
What's going on, Shahid?
What?
What's going on, fam?
Oh, good.
Good, man. Good.
Oh, good.
Shahid, why are you
Why are
whispering?
you talking like that anyway?
Why are you whispering for, man?
What's going on?
I don't think you're supposed to be up this
Do
late.
not ask me questions
I hope you're
about
not.
something you do not know about.
Hey, I hope you're not hiding under the bed and talking, you know?
I'm not hiding under the bed, man. That's what Ali Khan does, man.
What do you mean Ali Khan does that?
Shahid's got a little isolation pod underneath his bed. He's got a little, like, it's like a little
That's what it sounds
temperature
like,
controlled atmospheric bubble. He's got like a little.
Why you checking your temperature as well, man, child?
No, bro.
Yeah.
You going up, sis?
I've got my own room,
You going up,
man.
sis? See you there. See you, bro.
Dan, I just had a quick question.
Yeah, go on, man.
Oh, Assalamu alaikum, Reaction.
Alaikum salam.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
This
you, go ahead.
Google Hangouts. Sorry?
I said sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, no, it's just regarding this Hangouts thing. Do I have to join this little live chat thing to get into the panel?
No,
or is that an optional thing?
You're on the panel.
Yeah, I was gonna say the chat
Oh, no,
bar
but I'm
is a
getting
different
messages.
thing, you know?
Do you have to?
Yeah, so when you type something, I can I get notifications.
Yeah, so you're part
I'm
of the.
wondering if that's
so
because
yeah,
when I used to go on Surf Az's, yeah, it was just like go on.
Yeah, you'll get notifications in what's called the back chat. So it's like a group that we're all in now. So if anyone sends a message, you'll get a notification. If anyone joins, you'll get a notification. So yeah, you can switch them off. They get annoying.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'd rather avoid the back chats because I was warned about them. They can get a bit sticky.
Yeah, you can just leave when you jump off the call or whatever. When you're done, just leave the hangout. It's probably the best option, I would say. But yeah.
Dan,
like
is
log
the
out,
Daily
like
Mail,
logging out.
Wait, say that again. Sorry, say that again, Mike.
So I just log out. Like, is it like a sign out thing, or do I just leave the conversation?
No, you just hang up. You press the red button with the call sign, and that's it. You just hang
but
up.
he's asking how to leave the group. Leaving the group is the next step.
Yeah, the group.
You've got to press like the three little dots, and yeah, I think you'll be able. I can kick you out of the group at the end if you want. I can kick you out. That's probably the easiest.
Oh, yeah, I can see the dots,
that's the easiest way. But yeah, I either find your way out or I'll
just
kick you out.
dash me off.
I'll dash you off, man. No worries.
Yo, reactionary.
Yeah.
Do you still say God bless the Queen and that?
God save the Queen.
Come on, you need to stop
That's
that.
what he said, didn't it?
No, you
That's
need to
what
stop that
Nicky said,
reaction.
didn't
Come
he?
on, as a Muslim brother, you need to stop that. I still see you as a Muslim brother, but you need to stop that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate
Like,
it.
he's probably
It's
sleeping.
my advice to you. It's my advice to you. Come on, man.
He's probably going to bring his theme and he's going to be singing the national anthem of Muslim. And then the Reaction 5 comes
Who's
up.
that
saying,
in your profile pic today?
It's from a
Ali?
TV show. Don't worry, Reactionary. It's from a TV show.
Which show?
Ali started watching this show called Normal People, which
It is wicked, fam. That show is.
Reactionary, guess what? Reactionary.
What?
I was at Speaker's Corner. I saw Modine. So I'm lurking still.
Today?
No. I was at Speaker's Corner like a few months ago. I saw him lurking.
Yeah, yeah.
I was about to give him some dawah in it, but he was with one of his girls. There was one girl. He was with one girl. Yeah, stuff for that. He was with one girl on a bicycle. I was about to give him dawah, but I was like, no, he's with his girl in it. That was at right time, right place in it. So I thought, leave him with his girl. But muta contract, didn't it? When it was muta contract.
The infamous Modine, man.
So you guys are quite into the conspiracy side of Corona. From what I've
no, I'm not. I think it originated from a lab. I don't think that's a particularly far-fetched theory. I don't buy the 5G stuff, and I don't think that it's necessarily being released by like Bill Gates. I'm not 100% on that.
Dan, what do you not buy about the 5G? What is the 5G?
You know what? Have you actually? I'm gonna tell you what a proper conspiracy theory is now on this coronavirus. R. Kelly made up the coronavirus to get his child released. Something like that. That's a far-fetched conspiracy theory. Yeah.
Nice one. All right, Dan,
what don't I believe about the 5G thing?
Yeah. What is the 5G claim that you're disputing?
I don't believe that 5G is causing like this pneumonia. Like, I don't think it's having that effect on people. Could 5G be like compromising people's immune systems and stuff? I don't know. Perhaps, maybe in the years to come, if we survive, we'll be able to study that. But I don't know. I've not seen anything conclusive leaning that way. So I see the 5G thing as separate. Could it have some health effects? Could it be, a factor in increased rates of a particular type of cancer? Possibly. Who knows? I mean, I think the whole human race is just a kind of we're all having all of these tests run on us. It's like which clothing dye that we use in the multitude of sweatshops around the world. Which one of those dyes is going to kill us? We know that these dyes are carcinogenic. We know that like prolonged contact with carcinogens is going to give you cancer, but yet we still depend on, I don't know, there's loads of stuff, there's loads of things in our environment that could potentially kill us, right? And that for the sake of the economy, for the sake of saving some money or whatever else, we're exposed to them. Like loads of the like a lot of people who work in offices, like a lot of the furniture in offices is treated with like fire retardant chemicals that are carcinogenic. But for insurance purposes, the office needs to have office furniture that is fire retardant. It's not just going to catch fire as soon as So it's a balance. Like our health is constantly being traded off against someone else's savings on one end. So it's like
the term millimeter wave.
Millimeter? Nah, I've not.
That's one of the ways that 5G. It's one of the communication frequency mechanisms or whatever of how 5G propagates. They call it millimeter wave. And this is something they used to use in airport scanners. So when you'd walk through security at the airport, they had these machines that would scan you using what's called millimeter wave. They've had to replace them because of the health effects. So now they use something called backscatter, right? Now, 5G uses millimeter wave. So that exposure at the airport was just for a few seconds as you walk through the scanner. That was considered a health risk. 5G is going to be there permanently wherever you are, especially in urban environments where you're going to have antennas everywhere. Now, I don't know. I know that there are different sort of claims out there about 5G. What I did do is I looked up on Wikipedia about 5G, and the section about health issues was remarkably empty, right? But compared to the rest of the page, but there were a couple of interesting articles. One of them was a law case, which is open right now, raised by the US Navy and the US Department of Defense to try and put a stop to 5G because the risks, they've identified a number of potential risks. They need to examine the health implications as well. But this is not mentioned anywhere for some reason, and it was very briefly mentioned on the Wikipedia page. The only other thing I've heard is there's this guy who's emerged on YouTube since this lockdown. His name is Dr. Batar. I don't know how reliable he is, but he says that the 5G, it interferes with the molecular structure of your cells, and your cells therefore are responding by attacking what they see and invading object. So the cells are behaving as they should do by trying to fight a virus. So what he's saying is that this is causing your cells to be poisoned. I don't know how reliable what he's saying is, but he's supposedly a doctor.
So millimeter waves are the extremely high frequency. I think that's what I'm guessing. If they're called millimeters, because radio waves, they're usually like kilometers long, and you're talking about bloody millimeters.
You're right, because there's high frequency, short wave, high frequency, super high frequency, giga. There's all these different levels, but millimeter wave is the 5G one. But anyway, I don't know. I don't have a position on this 5G thing. It is peculiar though that this rollout of 5G is happening at the same time as the lockdown, and it's also peculiar that this bill that was passed in the US Senate, it's called the Securing 5G bill. The Secure the 5G bill, and that's where the United States has to roll out 5G, not just in their own country, but in all of their allies' countries too. And they have to make sure that those allied countries are secure.
Well, this is probably raised from the issue, the Huawei stuff, right? Because there was the espionage concerns, the backdoor concerns that I think some Western intelligence agencies had about. In fact, I don't think it was even Western agencies. I think it was like the Japanese or the Taiwanese or someone were the first to sort of raise concerns. But yeah, so securing 5G, I guess that's just the Americans wanting to get in first. It's an inevitability. There's obviously a lot of money to be made in rolling it out. It's something, I guess it's something akin to like laying out a railway or something, you know? It's a big infrastructure project. So do you let the Chinese do it? Do you let a big mega corporation like Huawei that's got links to the CCP and is, you know, essentially a state-run, I don't know. I mean, no one really knows what China's ambitions for this coming century are. We don't know. We don't know if they want to kind of control the information superhighway, control the infrastructure, and then have the ability to choke it at some unknown point in the future. I mean, who knows? Or if they're going to hack every politician. And I mean, this is the thing. Like, all it would take is a couple of sex scandals for a government to go down, right? And if you've got access to a country's communication network,
China need to free the Uyghur Muslims.
What? I don't know, man. China
need to free the Uyghur Muslims still.
And they don't even need the access to the actual data itself. They can just do what Facebook and Google do, which
still got
is
Muslim concentration camps in China.
And people together, you know, just like people who go through your trash, they gather all sorts of intelligence about you just by what you leave behind and your footprints.
But why would China sort of let itself, you know, get maligned and smeared globally if they, you know, had a part to play in this virus? Because they are probably I mean, us Muslims are off the hook for now because of this virus, to be honest.
That's a good question. My question to you is, have you seen, you know, in the BBC and CNN, normally they interview all these government senior people and also senior people in business. Have you seen a single representative of the Chinese government ever be interviewed on the BBC or CNN about this?
Never.
Not one?
Never.
They've
Isn't that
been given
remarkable?
gag orders, haven't they?
For a free press, and a balanced news service to not even interview the Chinese. That's
Well,
incredible.
the Chinese won't let them. It's not about the BBC though, is it? It's
Oh, you
about
think that's what it is?
China's. Well, I mean, the Chinese government is not really a government. It's more like a. How can I describe it? It's just an extension of the one-party system, isn't it? So everyone has to conform or
So you're
face the
saying that
consequences, face the music.
the BBC will have asked the Chinese to comment, and the Chinese would have refused.
Well, for now, they're probably just giving them all gag orders to let this die down, possibly, and then sort of give a view, or they probably want to have the right person at the right time. It's hard to
possible.
say because China is such a secretive state. It's hard to really.
But that's what we're told. We're told there's such a secret.
Make a guess about.
Exactly. I'm gonna say they've been demonizing China for a long time because it's like they will always want to.
Shut up the door.
You know what I mean? So when they don't stay on top, they like to demonize other people and call them bad people. You know.
That's true as well, Anibal. Actually, I mean,
yeah,
the Chinese, the sort of the fears of the red dragon in the east, I think, have been around for a couple of centuries. I don't think it's anything old, but I mean, this is the questions have been raised. I think in recent, I mean, people have been concerned about China's economic growth, their military growth. I mean, just on every front, and I mean, it's natural that they are going to want to develop research facilities that allow them to look into things like highly infectious diseases, biological agents, that sort of stuff. So we're now at this crossroads where, in a multipolar world, we should be sharing information across like our academic institutions. So I think this is what it's pointing towards there being some kind of collaboration project between universities in America and this Wuhan Institute for Virology. And I think there's a Wuhan Center for Disease Control as well. There's two institutions in Wuhan that deal with infectious diseases. And it seems that they delegated some of the research function that was restricted in the US because of various legislation that was brought in under the Obama administration that put a moratorium on so-called gain of function research, which is when you increase the virulence of a virus or its transmissibility. You do some weird gene editing stuff to it to make it worse in like a test bed environment. That stuff was made illegal in the US, and it was offset, sort of outsourced to these Chinese research labs. And now they're starting to raise questions about whether or not these labs are up to the task, whether they're really up to the international standards, the ISOs that we hold other research facilities up to. I don't know. But again, this could be, like Anibal's saying, a big part of this Chinese boogeyman kind of narrative.
Yeah, I think so, bro, because China's coming up. China in the next 20 years is going to be the richest country in the world, and they know this. Do you know what I mean? We're already being supplied. Everything we buy comes from China, so it's just a demonization, really, I see it as. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the lab that you're talking about in Wuhan, they did handle a lot of bat samples. They were looking at they were hunting bats themselves. They're going into caves.
Yeah. Well, I think the
and
region,
they were dealing with bats a lot often.
From what I've researched, they generally locate these labs in an area where there's a potential for there to be like a transmission. So in that area, in the Wuhan or whatever that province is called, the Hubei province or whatever, there's lots of these bat caves, and if there is going to be a transmission, naturally it's going to happen in those places. So they build these labs in those areas for that reason, supposedly.
You know what? This all happened since the Joker film came out. It was last year that the Joker movie came out. So maybe
I still haven't seen that. Can't believe it.
They're looking for a real Batman to come and fight.
Yeah, the Batman. I don't know. people were talking about this predictive programming thing, like The Simpsons predicting it and all of this stuff. I don't know. Who knows, man? If I get fooled by the biggest, most elaborate conspiracy theory to have ever been, woven, then cool. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. I don't see it necessarily. Oh shit! Yan of Han China has just turned up in the chat. CCP in the building. Big up the CCP before I get executed.
But that agenda 201, we can't ignore that agenda 201. Like that is
that
too
was
much
weird.
of a coincidence.
Event 201, that was weird. That was weird. But again, these pandemics. I mean, a pandemic is going to happen. If they do these events every year, then if they do them, I guess they do them annually. Then I guess there is going to be a year where they run one of these experiments, and then there is a pandemic, just based on the probability. So I don't see that as like a super strange thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I would say that
you also have to sort of look at the death rates as well. If you sorry for cutting you.
No, because I could still catch it. This is the thing. I'm still aware enough of this virus to take precautions. Like I'm not buying into anything except the fact that I need to stay alive and healthy. That's basically it. That's the only sort of focus I've got. Regardless,
I know people who have died
you
from
know?
this, very healthy people.
So MIC, people who died from this thing. How do you know they had it?
They were confirmed post-mortem.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but people die every day. Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
People
but there's a good question about that. The tests, are they reliable?
Well, yeah, the post-mortem definitely is, yeah. But the antibody test is not very accurate. But after you've died, because when you're dead, the virus gives off a specific molecule after death, which they have a test for. But that's only if you die. And it only lasts for a day or so. So the person that I knew that died from
different to other tests.
Yeah, it's not like an antibody test. It's a different one from what I've been told. That's only confirmation of death due to COVID, or as a result of having COVID and having underlying sort of conditions as well. So it is killing people way more than flu.
Well,
flu it's more deadly than flu. That's just...
Yeah, so there's plenty of there were these press conferences with the politicians and medical experts where they were saying that they would write on the death certificate that the cause of death is COVID. Right? Anytime there could be a slightest link to COVID, they would mark it as COVID. So the tests...
Yeah, they're a bit over...
are not...
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
go on.
understand what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
They're a bit...
It's
right
inflated.
now, apparently, they're a bit enthusiastic about just sort of covering up all deaths as COVID, and they're not really looking into... Because the person I knew that passed away from it, she was very obese. So...
And how old was she?
obese
How
people-
old was the lady?
She was young. She was below the age of 35.
Okay,
So,
you do know that they're making up a lot of the numbers. A lot of people, they're just saying they died of COVID, but they haven't died of COVID, you know?
Yeah, I mean, she definitely had underlying issues as well. She had asthma as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. They make up numbers.
So-
I remember saw on Mad Dunya's video, he was saying
Yeah.
he was showing a video showing how the numbers are fake.
A
You
quarter
watch
of
Mad
people who
Dunya's
died
video.
from it have diabetes, so they were diabetic, 25%. And
Right.
around 18 or 19% had dementia.
Yo, Mad Dunya's in
So
the group.
there's
He's joining the hangout.
Assalamu alaikum, Madunya.
Assalamu alaikum, Mad Dunya. Wagwan ji.
Walaikum
We
assalam.
have a good discussion now.
Disappeared.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wagwan.
Yeah, what's up, man?
But apparently-
what's it? Mad Dunya, drop a comedy joke, innit? Lighten up the mood.
I
No,
presume
I'm
like
trying, man.
everyone here is from the BAME community.
Yep.
You know the mood, yeah.
We're all. I think we're all at
We're all from the sort of
we're all at
BAME.
risk. Yeah, we're all at risk. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're all screwed.
I got some random phone call from my doctor saying, "Oh, you should have received a letter telling you to shield because you've got sickle cell trait." And I never received a letter, so I'm on the phone to him, and he's like, "Yeah, just ignore the letter that I didn't get." I don't know. So apparently they're sending out letters to people who've got sickle cell trait, saying you are at risk and you need to shield, and then they're wasting money calling them up afterwards to say you don't actually need to shield. Ignore that warning. So I don't think they. I don't know. I mean, TY said that earlier. It's like they're giving advice. Don't go outside, but go outside. Don't go around your friend's house, but go around your friend's house if I don't know. It's really odd to me.
If you get bored, yeah.
If you get bored, or if you're at risk of.
I heard you that in the parks.
You're allowed to go to the parks. People are exercising with people are exercising with like cider and like picnics. People are going out with picnics and like champagne and fucking pims and shit. Going out like just casual, going out
Basically,
boating.
what Boris is trying to say, like it's your choice if you want to die in it. Give it to dog.
Yeah, I think that's the truth, man.
Boris is a G, man. Boris lost the plot. He lost the plot still. They're on this population thing control, innit? You get me?
Well, people will probably big up to BHADMARSH. He's gonna jump on. Yeah, man, jump in, man. Let's get a conversation.
Don't go to work.
BHADMARSH, yeah, go to work. Don't go to work.
BHADMARSH.
BHADMARSH means naughty in Punjabi. Means naughty in Punjabi.
Big up Walla in the chat as well. Big up yourself. Big up to Joker Dan. Big up the people still tuned in, man. We got a solid little chat going on. Big up Shield Destroyer. Big up to Jem Wallace as well. Yeah, man. I don't know what to. I just know that this has made me more kind of aware of my own mortality. If I wasn't already considering that after 30 anyway. I think it's just a wake-up call for people in terms of how fragile our societies are. These complex societies that we've built for ourselves that depend on advanced communication and transportation, etc. I mean, all of that's we're all super thankful for the internet now, and we're all very kind of wary of stuff like public transport and places where we're crammed in like sardines, So, well, I don't know. Anyway,
one thing I've noticed, Dan, is if you go to sort of wealthier parts of England, I think it's easier to sort of follow the rules. So if you live like in Surrey, sort of like the Eesa, sort of Richmond, like West London side of London, it's more easier to follow the rules. There's detached houses, you have Waitroses, which are massive. If you're living sort of in a part of the country which is somewhat deprived, it's really, really hard to follow any of the rules. So difficult.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in the countryside felt that the laws just applied to the city dwellers. So like if you're in the countryside and you live like the nearest house to you is like a mile away, then surely you can go for a walk in the field next door. Surely. But then there was like in those areas the police were flying drones over. They were using drones because of the low density of people. They're using these drones to fight. So then they're picking on people who are pretty much not a risk. They're not going to spread the disease. They're not going to come in contact with people. So yeah, I don't know.
That was it was so unnecessary to do, to do that.
So do you know anything about the second wave of Corona that's coming?
Whoa! Well, this is what we're talking about. Confirmed. If they start to ease things up too soon, and if they don't have a real plan in place for, enforcing this social distance, and if that's what we're going to go by, or rolling out masks for everyone, then we're going to get a second wave. And even there, you've still got the issue of
Wait, I just want to cut. Sorry, hello everybody. Salam Saturday call to everyone. Yes, but there was X amount of sorry guys. There was X amount of popo. There's X amount of police there at the park. None of them were covered up. So
yeah, exactly.
you literally, apparently, you literally have to share some saliva with somebody, right? Like a particle of saliva. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends how much. It depends. I mean, I think a particle is enough for transmission. Yeah. Whether or not your immune system will be able to handle like a small dose of the virus, like a small viral load or whatever, that's another question. That's the thing.
I heard your chest gets, your lungs and that gets blood clot from these virus, you know.
Yeah,
the virus sits on your chest.
Yeah,
it sits on your chest and it makes breathing hard, right?
Blood clot and that.
Yeah, so the hospital near me. I mean, this
that's
is the weird thing, though.
inflammation of the lungs.
I'm not sure what the situation is in London, but the hospital near me, like I'm in like the countryside in the shires and that. They have a ward with 64 beds. The COVID ward, the specialist ward, has 64 beds, and someone I know who knows someone who works there said that they had about 8 people on the ward for 64. So I don't know what it's like in big cities. I think it's a lot worse. But apparently they've got these beds that are sort of positioned at like 45 degrees. So you're like on the bed, like sloping downwards, like facing forwards. So it eases the, like gravity kind of does the work on your chest to kind of keep phlegm and that sort of thing down.
Yeah.
But and people are in like these bubbles. You're in these like plastic kind of container bubbles. Everyone's in PPE. It's like, but then the rest of the hospital's like dead. Like people are going in and out. They're getting seen for other stuff really quickly because there's no, you know. So I'm not sure. It depends.
So Dan, you know the social distancing to date, has it been effective? Have people been following it?
No. This is that.
Okay.
Some have.
I think no, on a whole, we can be unanimous that it's been a failure. You can look at any footage online. People are going out and mixing. They're going to the beach. They're going to the park. They're going on the tubes, the underground, and public transport, and getting so close. There is no real social distancing.
So, exactly. It was a bit of a joke, yeah.
Reactionary, are you saying that a more authoritarian, authoritative government would be better, right?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that social distancing as an idea is only an idea. In reality, it hasn't been done yet.
I think Italy was a bit more stricter.
What they're claiming in the news and the mainstream media is that it has been effective and the rates are coming down, and because of that, we're almost through the first phase and we can open the economy again. But that would only be the case if there was an effective shutdown.
I think we need to Reactionary first to stop saying God bless the Queen, innit? Then I will go on to
But I think the lockdown was to ease pressure of the NHS reactionaries to buy time, so we have more beds and stuff.
You know the Excel hospital, that Nightingale hospital, is empty. You know that, right?
Yeah, they've closed the one in Bramdown.
30 patients.
They've closed the one in Bramdown. They opened it up. It's big lights, and they've closed it again.
I wanted to throw something into the mix here. That apparently in 2018 that there were like more. There wasn't any greater deaths, like the death rate